Hi, welcome back. It's Laura at Hyperstamper. I'm getting down to the last few journals of the year for Christmas, and this one is pretty darn wonderful. I just finished it, and I am thrilled with the cover. I just love, again, this wonderful Art Deco font. The image is just classic. It is a classic story, a visit from St. Nick. And before I put it in my Etsy shop, if you're one of my American friends, there are no tariffs on any of my journals. They're all completely exempt. And I do use courier service, so this will get to you very quickly and safely and trackable. So I'm going to put it in my Etsy shop right after this video, hyperstamper.etsy.com. And you can go there to see all of my journals. So let's go. Let's take a look here. I had to repair the spine because the spine was about that thick. So I wanted it to be wider, of course, to fit in the 4 signatures. So let's go. This is the original first inside cover page here. And this is a 1950s page out of a Christmas Ideals book. And it's got lovely Christmas images and poems throughout. I hand stamped that there. And this is a 1970s Holly Hobby vintage sticker for Christmas. And here is a page from another Night Before Christmas, different storybook here, also from the 50s. And again, the artwork is just spectacular. Look at that. How wonderful is that? I love it. This is from an antique book with the title page here, Christmas, from the Bobbsey Twins story. And then this is from a vintage Birds of America book. And we've got these gorgeous red and yellow birds here. And the reason I chose is because it's got the pine needles and the pine cones on there, which always reminds me of Christmas. And I put some antique paper on the back, and I didn't want to cover this up because I love sparrows. So you get 2 kinds of birds there. And then this is from 1947 here, from a book on costumes through the ages. And it's got this beautiful winter coat and winter muff here. Beautiful, from the year 1844. So that would have been just pre-Victorian. This is from a 1950s coloring book for Christmas, or paint by number, I guess. So, but they would have colored with it. And then I just love this. I put this here because it's an advertisement for a winter boot. And that is, of course, from the 1930s. And this here is from a vintage Christmas book as well. Got a little Christmas scene there, village, little gentleman there walking through the Christmas treasury of Christmas stories. And this is another page from that book with a little Christmas song and lots of room to journal. We've got a little Christmas cat down here. Isn't that great? And so you can do some fun journaling in there, write your own Christmas memories inside. And here's another 1930s Christmas card. Love it. Look at those vivid greens. I mean, this is almost 100 years old, and it has really stood the test of time. Look at the beautiful W there. Is it just me, or I just love it so much? So anyways, I love it. You can reuse it. You can journal in it. All kinds of fun things. There's the last page of that wonderful book, Happy Christmas to All, and to all a good night. And then later on in I think the 50s or 60s, they changed it to Merry Christmas. Now we have a vintage puzzle up here, a Christmas puzzle. You can see Santa's sled there and his hat at the top. This came from another children's book, Christmas story here. And here is a coloring book page, different kinds there. We've got the Virgin Mary on one side, and then another village snow scene on the other. And that, of course, is another winter poem there. I hand stamped some skates there. And this is over 100-year-old plate out of a botanical book. And it's this was a section on trees. And again, we've got the beautiful pine cones in there. Love it. And this came from a 1940s book on party games. And this here is a Christmas party game. So I just left it whole. I left it alone. And can't remember the clothespin game. Oh my gosh, so much fun. Anyways, that is a pretty cool piece. Vintage wrapping paper here from the 50s. This is from 1927. Beautiful winter coats that they would have wore at Christmas time. And then this here is, oh my gosh, I want to say this one is from the 60s. Look at that awesome image here. We've got all kinds of sugar plum treats that you can whip up, and then a story on the other side. Another 1930s Christmas card here. The Old Mill in Winter from Victor. Look at there's even always a little picture inside as well. Now this is really cool. This is if you know just 20 people, you can make at least $50. Wow, that's pretty cool. So how to make money at Christmas? You sell Christmas cards, and that is the send away to get them. And this came from a 1950s teen magazine. And unfortunately, somebody along the way did scribble in it, but it's still cool all the same. I love it. Now, this is very special. You've seen me using lately, if you follow my journals for Christmas, the little pages with the holes in it. This is the top of the box. And you can see down here, it's from 1951, but this was the top of the box and the light came up through there with the battery inside the box and then the book pages. Now, I turned this into a pocket, and this is one that my friend Paige sent me. It's almost 100 years old. And the reason I love this envelope is this. I've never seen this in an old envelope ever. So I love it. I think it's beautiful. We've got the wise men there traveling to Bethlehem. I love it. So that's a very, very special piece. That was hard to give away, but I had it on my desk since I got it, and now it's time to share. So thank you, Paige. This is an exquisite Christmas postcard. This one is from pre-1920. Sorry, I know exactly. It's 1910. It's absolutely spectacular. She is gorgeous. Merry Christmas, the Victorian font. It's awesome. I love it. And I'll put that back in its sweetheart pocket. And down here is a little set of ice skaters. And then these are my vintage flinch cards. And I picked out the numbers 2 and 5 for the 25th of Christmas. And then back here is a page from an antique book from 1925. So exactly 100 years old. And it was a Christmas gift from Mary from Helen. Isn't that great? Christmas 1925. Wow. And this is from a crafts you can make book. Sweater or knitted crafts you can make. So this is a little doll outfit. Look at this little doll, little broom, and the snowman. I think it's hysterical, but it's a little snowsuit there. I love it. And that is quite old. And then this here is one that Stacy sent me, my friend Stacy from Michigan, and she sent me this. It's an iron-on transfer. And again, it's backwards so that when you iron it, it's the right way, and then you would add your embroidery on top. And you can see how the other images from the page over top of it bled on. We've got A, B, C, D here. Just wonderful. That is a really special piece, and you could probably actually use it. Go ahead, iron it onto some tea towels. This is a piece of 1950s tracing paper for sewing. You can see the perforations in there, and I added a 1966 Christmas seal stamp. And this here is a piece of cloth from the cover of an antique book. It didn't make it, but I was able to save this because it's a little sled, which I love. We've got a little Christmas page there. You can see some more of those wonderful recipes inside the little, whoops, there we go. On the side here, that almost looks like Rice Krispie squares, doesn't it? Chocolate porcupines. There we go. More vintage wrapping paper. And again, here's more of these wonderful boots. Hi, Lacey. More of these wonderful boots that you would have worn in the winter, and I would wear those now. I love them. Home for Christmas, antique page here. And then, hi, Lacey, 1949 photograph here of this little boy who, up in Canada, we flood our backyards in the winter and we skate. So that is exactly what that is. He's skating in his backyard. I love it. Do you do that in America, up in our northern states? I bet you do. Here is another 1930s Christmas card. It's very monotone, brown on beige. I love it. It's called The First Snow. And yeah, Joyce, 1939, it says down here from Mary Ellen. So that's just a wonderful piece as well. Oh my gosh, these are so great. That is an image from a vintage book on it, Scrooge. Christmas Carol, thank you. I knew I'd come up with it eventually. And I did not know that this story took place in 1822, night before Christmas, but there you go, it did. And another children's page down here from the 40s. And this here is from the turn of the century. It is a craft that you can make for Christmas. And you can see there that calendar says January 1901. So it's how to make this little calendar as a gift, and then more gift making ideas on the other side. I love that because if you're watching this, you too are a crafty person. Now here is a really fun vintage page, also from the 60s, Christmas Around the House, and all the different things that you can make with. It's kind of like upcycling, right? We still do that to this day. We've gotten a little better at it, but this is pretty cool. And there's another wonderful vintage Christmas page down here, and this is an antique music sheet here. I believe the date on here is 1918. And then in the pocket here, it is brittle, so I'm not going to do too much to it, but it's got a beautiful Christmas song there. And it's got a little recipe in here from the early 1900s. And then on this side is another antique postcard. And it is, I did some research on it. I couldn't find this exact one, but the little code down here tells me it is pre-1910. So that's really cool. Just a great blank page there for journaling on. And more of that wonderful story page. And then here is a epic 1890s image here in a children's book of the manger scene, Mary and Joseph and baby Jesus. I love this, How to Be Happy. Now this is from a 1930s French to English dictionary, and we've got down here, Noel, Christmas. So I pulled that page. And then I've got this 1959 page here with that awesome snow image, just classic 1959 photography. And then this is another 1970s vintage sticker from my sister. I love this image here. It's a classic piece of art, just beautiful. The angels, baby Jesus and Mary again. And I think I'm missing, nope, this is just the flip side. We've got articles here on Christmas. And here's more paper craft ideas from the turn of the century on crafts for Christmas. That becomes that, which is really neat. This is from a vintage Christmas book, of course. That was the cover. And then we've got in here a vintage playing card with a woman, Victorian woman, skating there. And then this is from a styrofoam art book from the 70s, or was it the 60s? Doesn't matter, it's still vintage, and a sled you can make out of styrofoam. I used to make art with styrofoam with my sisters. It was pretty fun ornaments. And then this here is a lovely winter day scene. Look at how fun that is, also from the 30s. That one's from the 40s. Going on an airplane ride for Christmas. Just some vintage wrapping paper there for you to journal inside. Another little fun magazine page that's red and pink, which I love, with this embroidery here. And then this is another one of these hysterical styrofoam art pages here. Look at that. I would kill to own this right now. I'm not kidding. I think that would be so much fun. Oh my gosh. If I saw that at a Christmas star, I would totally buy that. And then, yeah, that brings us to the last page of the book. And I did put this vintage, it's a souvenir spoon, but it's a brooch. It was made into a brooch. So I think it's kind of cool. And it's the mascot is La Bonhomme, the good man from the Carnival of Quebec. So I hope you love it as much as I loved making it. Hyperstamper.etsy.com. Don't forget to subscribe, leave me a comment, and come back soon. Bye for now.